Well, the purging of YouTubers, demonetization, it is continuing. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, when will they be final intervention to stop this from happening? I mean, some people, this is their livelihood. This is where they make money. This is my livelihood. You have situations like this, and many, many YouTube creators are being affected. But before we start, remember, there are 4 things here that you must remember. Subscribe, like, support, share. Very important. Thank you for those who have done this. Welcome aboard to new subscribers here on YouTube and on BitChute also, because basically we're getting some leeway on BitChute. We have some people that are coming on. I'm hoping some of those people have come over here and vice versa. I thank you for that. Those of you who have supported us, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is very important we maintain this channel alive. We want to bring you a lot more content. If you enjoyed our 8 o'clock show of American Asylum with Tommy Cicerello, we are planning more guests. Some of it does cost money because I need a booker. I need someone just to sit down to talk to people all day long to try to get them on the show. And that costs us money, even though I could sit there all day long. But we do a lot of things more than Uncaged TV at this network. We work with other things, and basically we're on a full rotation. Other than that, we're producing a lot more on there because we still have to pay our bills. So we have to figure out how to do that, and these are some of the other things which I can't discuss on here. Basically is being done just to keep us going constantly. So welcome to this late edition of Man with the Show. I'm Zane. From what you see, what's going on, we're going to be discussing several things on here. Clownfish TV, which is another channel, I'll tell you, go over to them. They're very, very good. They're very funny. You got to love these guys. Subscribe to them, like their videos, give them some love. Right now, they're going through a big problem. One thing about everything that's going on, and, when you look at the situation and you look at some of the people here on YouTube that are being demonetized, Tim Pool, Vincent J., you have some people out there that are on the left. Clownfish TV is not a far-right group, conservative group. They would consider themselves more left. Meanwhile, they're being demonetized because they have not really criticized, they have discussed things that have been happening in the fandom. They have covered the Vic Mignogna case, not as extensively as they would have to say, just a little bit more than us here at Uncaged TV and Man with the Show, but not as much as Yellow Flash, Hero High, Nick Rekieta, and many others that are just on it constantly. They're at least giving at least 1 or 2 shows a day toward the case. I think what it is with the guys at Clownfish, if it's something that's mandatory that needs to be reported, they will report it. But also, they have been a major critique on the She-Ra series, how bad that series is. They've just, I think it's, I don't know if it started at this point or during the Vic Mignogna, but they have been talking about the Mattel toys, and I haven't really gone into it, looked too much into it. Now, Mattel has been not really getting into the new series. They've been trying to maintain the old series, old toys. And, one thing about the guys over at Clownfish, they've been, they said, well, I do, his Neon's wife, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend. You got to tell me on the comments below. But basically, she loves the She-Ra dolls, all the ones that were put out originally, and they're planning to put out some more with brushable hair. And she said, "Oh, I'll go out and get it," But what you're seeing is now that basically they got demonetized talking about this. Now, this is sounding like basically the producers over at the She-Ra series, and they're not liking any critique on their DreamWorks. I think it's DreamWorks that runs that through Netflix. And they've also discussed about the Final Fantasy, about Tifa and her boobs. That it's not bouncing, which some people are upset about that. Which okay, it could be either or less, but still, moving around and not getting any full movement on the body. On a video game and in this technology, you kind of expect it's going to happen. People's bodies move. So, when you get people that are like, oh, we can't discuss that, we can't say this, we can't say that. There are words we can't say. How is this a thing? And when you have someone like Clownfish TV, which is, like I say, it's a good channel. It's a very, very good channel. And, they're not really that political. I mean, they just say what it is. If the rose is a rose, it's gonna be that way. But you have people that are just like, well, I don't like what they say, so they must be far right and supremacists and this and that. I mean, it's incredible. You can't have an opinion in this day and age on anything without being labeled far right, racist, or that word from the German supremacy group from World War II. They'll call you that, which is like, it's totally ridiculous. I mean, these people have 40,000 subscribers and growing. Like I said, give them some love, and this is what's going on. Now, on the other cases, there are several other things that are going on. The same thing with the demonetization, as you clipped on here. Over the weekend, another YouTuber called Uncaged Games, also, please go over to him. I don't know too much about him. I just started watching a couple of his videos, which is purely gaming videos. He plays games. He discusses the gaming industry and stuff like that, which, it's most basic. He's getting demonetized because he is shown, he's playing a lot of Mortal Kombat 11, which is, right now, it is very popular with a lot of gamers out there. And basically, this is his life. Basically, YouTube, this is where he makes his money and stuff like that. Now he's being demonetized. There is a video that he put out explaining what it is. I advise you to go click on that. Click the like on that. Let him know that you're backing him. But the thing about it is that, here we go again. You have a demonetization, but you're not telling the rules properly, YouTube. You're not discussing how things are. 1 minute you say one thing, another minute you're other. And you're saying that the video game, basically showing blood on there. You have movies that you're even showing free online that you don't edit them, that have plenty of blood in them. There's some sex, not adult, not porn sex, but, romantic coupling. Can we put it in that perspective? You have many other videos that show this. Also, here is the major thing. Over this weekend was the Mortal Kombat, the Kombat tournament was going on. And it was going on pretty much live. And basically, when I clicked, I watched a little bit of it. When I clicked on it, there was no warning of age restriction on it, nothing of that nature. The streams went full. I don't know if they were demonetized. I hear nothing about demonetization. If they're monetizing the particular channel, because they have their own, I think it's listed as Mortal Kombat, and basically, it looks like their stream went through very good. And before you say, well, maybe they blanked out, no, they didn't. The blood was there and stuff like that. So, YouTube, please tell me, why do you have someone like this, Uncaged Games, being demonetized, and someone that basically, it's Kombat, which I would assume Warner Brothers is behind on that, because that's part of the games, and whatever, Three Realms and all the other companies that are involved with Mortal Kombat, it's okay to show it live as they're playing it as part of the tournament. Also, the other thing he said also at Uncaged Gamer is that he's getting flagged from WMG, which is basically Music Group. Warner Music Group also is known to hit a lot of YouTubers also for their music. And for him just to use a little bit clip on that and it's on the game, that is ridiculous. Warner, which owns most of this, the Mortal Kombat on there, you're getting free advertisement. Free advertisement. And you're sitting there like, oh, let's demonetize them. We don't like it. We don't want the blood on there. Step in and, talk with this guy. He's big fan. I mean, in the background, you can see in the picture that basically he has, on this article, he's got, who is that back there? Jax. He's got Jax. He likes the games and stuff like that, and he plays. He's also MSI, basically the motherboard company, basically gives him, I guess, stuff, or they advertise on his channel or something of that nature, that they basically assist him in some way. So for a big company as you, one company assists, another one just, puts you down. That is ridiculous. It's totally. But here is the big one, and we'll discuss this tomorrow because this is part of another story with the Project Veritas. There's another gentleman, Sean Woods, who also has a channel here on YouTube. Now, you may have not heard of him. Go to his channel. I will warn you, his channel is a little bit if you cringe at basically rats, mice. What he does mostly is, I guess he lives out in the burbs somewhere, farmland. Looks like it might be a farmhouse of nature. I've only watched a couple of things. He's got about 1,000,001 subscribers on his channel, and he shows mouse traps. The guy shows the workings over there. He gets them from all over the world. He shows different types, old, new. Some of them they snap, kill on there. Others just capture. So he does a capture and release. He himself, has some rats and mice as pets. But yet they're slamming him. He's already been demonetized, and some of it's been censored on YouTube. Vimeo terminated the channel this afternoon. And this guy is in the middle of nowhere. And let me tell you something. He's losing a lot of money. And the thing about it is that one thing about where he's at, and this is why people say, well, why these big companies, they, we have to take control of them and stuff like that, for the internet, stuff like that. Where he is, the internet feed is not that great. I mean, I think he says up to an hour it takes him to upload a video on there. You have where he's at, problems to upload, but he gets the shows out. I don't think as fast it is, but now he's been terminated. And, we have situations throughout the country, especially California, New York. We have a major rat infestation on both sides of the continental United States. And I know in between, in the middle, they have them also as well. What he has shown is how to. These are things that you can order and stuff like that. It's not an advertisement, but he tests some of the crazy gimmicky rat traps that are out there, and it's pretty good. I mean, if you're cringy on there, understand, yeah, it's going to be like, woo, as my mom would say. My mom she just doesn't like rats when she sees it. But they removed it. We'll talk about this tomorrow, for violating guidelines, and we'll go over that. I mean, they're just saying that they promoted violent activity, extreme life violence, self-harm, or cruelty to animals. Rat infestation is an infestation. Okay? We show videos out here, New York. We have what is a rat patrol of dogs. And I know that a couple of videos have come up on YouTube showing that. And believe me, I've seen plenty of other videos on here that that should be cut off, but they're not. And I believe PETA's behind this one also, on this particular one as well. I mean, the guy likes animals. He's not an animal hater. but he has an infestation problem that affects where he lives. You know, even though he has rats and mice as pets, he does have a problem, and you can see in the videos, he catches a lot of them. You know, all you have to do is watch his videos. So, you know, we have these three major situations. One of them we'll go into further tomorrow, because another Project Veritas also has been dropped from Vimeo too. We'll be discussing more of that tomorrow. So comment below. Tell me how you feel about this. You know, Clownfish TV, Uncaged Gamer, also Sean Woods. You know, all these channels are either getting demonetized, banned, shut down. This is totally wrong. You know, if someone doesn't like something, ooh, you know, we hurt your feelings. We hurt. Oh, he's hurting an animal. He's hurting a poor little animal. But if you have an infestation, take it. You know, if you think that it is a minor situation that you shouldn't hurt one, take a trip to Australia, to the outback, where they have a massive field mice infestation out there. There are videos of it where you see hundreds of them compiling out of a barn. You know, sometimes, you know, you have to handle these situations. Staten Island, New York, we have a big deer population out there that basically on Staten Island, and they're trying to curb that. I mean, you know, we're at the moment where we are trying to capture them and sterilize, but it's going to be to the point where they're going to start authorizing to someone to come in to hunt them down, because it's getting to a big part. I mean, there is a story where one deer went into a department store, crashed through, smashed everything, and the video is out there. Check it out. So don't forget, subscribe, like, share, support, or in whatever direction you want to put that. Subscribe, like, support, share. We'll catch you tomorrow. Again, it is going to be a short week. We are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Thursday is 4th of July, so we're taking the holiday off. Just giving you that advance notice. If you didn't catch earlier, we didn't have an 8 o'clock Man with the show. We had the American Asylum special that was out. Please do catch that. We had an interview there with Thomas Cirillo, who's a former radio producer in the West Palm Beach area. It was a very interesting conversation, which we'll be expanding further in another episode. So we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. Have a good evening.